So when I first started writing, or rather when I made the decision that I was going to be a full-time writer, I was young, like mid-20s, whatever. First of all, everybody thought I was crazy, nuts, and I probably was a little bit. But second of all, I had no idea how to go about it, other than I had been in business for 3 or 4 years since I had gotten out of college, and I knew enough that like just writing wasn't going to cut it. And even that was sketchy at the time. I wasn't a very good writer at the time, but I stuck with it and got to be pretty good anyway. But in any case, I had no idea how to go about it. Like, how does one become a professional writer? And so I relied on biographies I was reading. Like, I was reading like a lot of Hemingway biographies and a lot of Hemingway's prose. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, he started like at the Kansas City Star writing pieces for them. And then he went to Europe and freelanced for them. And I did that. And so I was like, okay, that's how you start. And so I did the same thing. I started at the Times Union newspaper, freelancing for them and stringing for them and writing sports stories and stuff like that. And then like Hemingway, I graduated to the magazines and stuff like that. And I was starting to write fiction at the time, and I was like, well, what did he do? He started publishing in like the small literary magazines, so I did that. And then I inevitably started on my first novel when I was in graduate school. That's something that Hemingway did not do. They didn't have writing programs back then. Back then, if you wanted to be a writer or a journalist, like you just did it, and you learned the chops through someone else who had come before you. So that's essentially what I was doing, even though Hemingway was dead. Via his biographies, he was teaching me how to write. He was coaching me. And when he wrote his first novel, he really didn't know what to do with it either. And Scott Fitzgerald sort of coached him, and he's like, this is what you need to do. Let me talk to my agent, or rather my editor. He didn't have any. Let me talk to my editor at Max Perkins, and we'll see what we can do. And in the meantime, I know these other publishers and whatever. Anyway, he helped Hemingway get published, and he helped Hemingway finish his book. He read drafts of it and stuff like that. Basically gave him a lot of encouragement. He knew that Hemingway had a gift, and he really helped him out a lot that way. If I'd had that kind of thing when I first started out, I would not have gone through such misery that I went through. Like, it was just, I felt like, because you're alone, no one's doing this for you. You're alone writing your words, you're alone marketing your stuff, you're alone trying to sell it. And if you just had somebody behind you that was a professional in the field, somebody like me, I've been around 25 years, been doing this full time. I've hit all the lists. I've hit the Kindle #1 overall spot several times. The Innocent itself was there for like 8 weeks. Actually, The Innocent was actually #2, not #1. It would have been #1 had The Lincoln Lawyer not been #1, and it was a major motion picture at the time. But it would have been #1. In any case, New York Times wasn't taking ebooks at the time, but I would have been on the New York Times bestseller list like 8 weeks in a row or something like that. Eventually I hit it, but in USA Today for like 8 or 10 weeks. But and then I won the Thriller Award, and I won the Shamus Award, and nominated, or rather a finalist for a Derringer Award. So all these things came in time. But it all came with hard work, and it came with like thousands upon thousands, if not millions upon millions of words written every year. I've sold probably about 1.5 million books by now, including audio and ebook and paper and whatever. And I mean, at last count anyway. And I'm putting out a novel a month right now. And I've seen agents come, agents go. I've seen editors come, editors go. I've seen publishers come, publishers go. I've seen authors come, authors go. Too many authors go. And I've survived because I'm not only motivated for this industry, I lust this industry, right? But if I had somebody like that behind me when I was first starting out, especially if I were the type of writer who was like, oh, I write one day, but then I take a week off. I write another day, I take a week off. It's just too much because I got little kids running around. I got the job that sucks. I got the credit card balances maxing out. I got this, I got that. I got my wife hates me, whatever. If that was, like, if that's what I was dealing with and just couldn't get the first book done, it really would have helped to have somebody just be like, all right, let's get on a Zoom call or whatever, and let's talk about this. Like, and here's what you're going to do, and I want you to check in with me via email 7 times a week and what your progress is. If you're not making progress, then hit the road, because that's what this is all about. You don't need to waste your time or money. You don't need to waste my time, which translates into money. There's a lot you should know, even so far as inside secrets, industry secrets. There's some pretty nasty fucking people. There's some pretty nasty people out there in the industry who will stab you in the back, and you should know about them. At a moment's notice, they will stab you in the back and laugh about it. Trust me. So anyway, that's what I'm offering up. I'm only taking on 2 or 3 students. I'm not doing like 10 or 20 student type things here. This is not what I'm about. And, I've got, I just want to be able to share what I've learned and to do it, to maybe make the next generation of writer as successful as I hope to be one day. See what I did there? All right. So anyway, if you're interested, it's pretty cheap, to be honest, for 3 months. It's cheaper than school. It's cheaper than MFA school. I'm not critiquing your manuscript. Keep that in mind. I may ask for 10 pages of it if you got it started. I will help you with a query letter, though. Very important. If you want somebody who's going to manuscript or critique your manuscript, go to MFA school or find like a book doctor or something like that, or go to a workshop. That's not what this is. This is like business, because this is a business. And if you do it right, you can earn a living. I'm in Italy right now. I've been in Italy for a month and a week. Got another almost 2 weeks to go, and I'm doing it on royalties. Not even freelance money. I'm doing it on royalties. So, and you can be too. You could be too. Am I getting the finger in there? You could be too. All right. Email me at vazandri@vinzandri.com, vinzandri.com, vazandri@vinzandri.com, or if you forget that for some reason, go to my website. There will be some required reading during the course of this program, and it will be my hybrid author mindset. We could talk about that. We'll talk about a lot of stuff privately. I'm not going to be your shrink, but some of that's going to end up happening. I've seen it all. I've had the wives. I've been wealthy. I've been flat broke. I've been worse than broke. I've done it all. Trust me. And I'll be a friend. Okay? So anyway, if you're interested, I think it's $12.50 if you pay up front. No refunds. I'm telling you that right now. So or $4.50 a month if you want to pay monthly. And keep in mind, if you're not cutting it, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to waste your time and money. And just want to make sure all that is clear. And there's also in the article below there, you can go to my LinkedIn page and see how great I am. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope you take advantage of this, because I'm not going to always offer it up. But right now, I think I have the time to do it. Days are longer. Yada, yada, yada. All right. And I will talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.